Hello grade 11s, I'm looking at page 105 in your workbooks. It's the same topic of loci, but they're now asking you to draw a square thread. Now don't get too worried about that. All that means is there are a number of helix that will be needed to draw the square shape. Because it's a square, that's obviously 4 corners. So basically what you're doing is plotting 4 individual helix to make up the square thread. Try and remember to use the same process that we have before. If we go over the information, it shows the incomplete front view of a square thread showing the starting point. We've got the center line. It's 1 revolution with a pitch of 120. That's quite nice because it is divisible by 12. It's right-handed. The outside diameter of 100, the core diameter of 60. Draw to scale of 1 to 1 the top view and complete the front view of the right-handed square thread. Show the necessary construction, no hidden detail is required. So remember our process. First of all, do the circles. Secondly, let's draw the rectangle. Now because our circles have been drawn, I'm going to now do the rectangle in this space. There is my rectangle. Now my next step is my pizza slices. There are my pizza slices. My next step is to mark off my height increments. Now remember they've said here 1 revolution is 120 millimeters, so that's the pitch. So we have to divide 120 by 12, giving us our height splits of 10 millimeters each. Now just to remember, why this is longer is because from this point to this point is 1 pitch of 120, but the height of the square is 20, so that's why from this edge to that edge is also 120, and that's why our total height here is 140 and not just 120. So always remember this distance is from this pitch point to this pitch point, giving us that distance of 120 there. I'm now going to mark off my height divisions of 10 millimeters. Now to understand our labeling, they've said point A over here is our start point at the top of the shape. Now if it's a right hand, it's meaning that this part is coming around the back of the shape to get to that point. So this little part here would be hidden detail as it works its way around that side. So our labeling needs to go around this shape. Now we can't see it there. It's going around this shape in the clockwise direction. So this point would be 0. In line with this point would be 1. Around in line with this point would be 2 at the back, 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back. Then it would come to point 6, 7, 8, 9. So please just remember these points would be if we had space to draw the circle around the back. I'm going to now project my pizza slices. I've done my pizza slices. Now let's remember, for our height divisions, we're starting with 0 at the top here. Remember, these two are the extra points because of this bottom edge, and we'll get to those later. Let's match up the points now. 0 and 0.0. Sorry, let me put these here. 0, 12, 1, 11, 2, 10. Point 1 needs to line up with our vertical point 1. Point 2 with vertical point 2. 3 with vertical 3. And we're following the same process as we've done in all the previous examples. And there we have our shape. Now remember, I've said to you, this is going to have 4 points. Why? Because we're going to have the top edge on the outside, we're going to have the top edge on the inside, then we're going to go to the bottom edge on the outside and the bottom edge on the inside. I'm going to now plot the bottom of A. Now the bottom of A is 20. So what we're going to do then is that's going to make the height split move 10, 20 down. So there would be 0. Now it's not always great having them on the same side. It might be worth having them on a separate side. But let's follow them across now. So this is point 0. There's this 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we followed them the same way around, lining up the points. And there you can see how it's flowing around our shape at the moment. Now, because we have got 4 different helixes to follow and draw in this drawing, I would just join these points up in construction, just so that we're not going to get confused with any of the other ones. So there is a curve. Our middle 3 must line up. The middle 3 line up. And the middle 3 line up. There's that slight little dip on this side. I like to extend that line a little bit to give us a bit of a direction for this curve. And here it's coming out. Let's see if we can get that curve in there. Here's the other side. And there's this curve. You'll notice how I extended a little bit past there just to give me a bit of direction for me to follow to help me with my curve. And there is the outside part of the square thread. Now let's do the inside. So the same process as before, let's label the inside and then project those lines down. I've taken my points and I've projected them down, and then like before I've labeled them just at the bottom so that they don't interfere with the ones at the top. I'm going to now zoom in and just focus on this as we then label up our 2 points, the theory of 2 points, the vertical with the horizontal. I'm going to start with my highest point, so there is 0 lining up with my highest point 0 on the inside of this thread. There is 1 lining up with 1, 2 lines up with vertical 2, here's vertical 3, it's going to give me the same point, 4 with horizontal 4, 5 with vertical 5, 6 is going to be on the edge here, 7 going back in, 8, 9 is at the same point in the center, 10, 11, and there is the complete revolution for the top of my square thread. We now need to do the same as before, where we've got the bottom of the thread as well, so that moved down the height of 20, so there is going to be my 0 on the inside, 1, and we're going to follow the same process. 2, 3 is going to give me the same point here, 4, 5, and 6 on the edge here. I'm going to carry on and project the rest of those points. Now we've got to join up what we can see and what we can't see. Remember, this is a right hand thread, so if I'm holding it in my hand, there's the direction of what I'll see. This is then going to turn around the back of the shape, so most of that is not visible. Definitely this front part is visible, so I'm going to start by just darkening that shape. Here is the part that sticks out on this side, and this part would be behind the shape. Now remember, this is a square thread, so we will have the square over here with hatching where it's been cut off. What is visible for the inside aspect? So this little bottom corner here, as it starts coming up on the inside, there's our curve, joins up to this first point, then these next 3 are on a straight line, but it stops as it hits the center point here. Then we won't be able to see it anymore as it follows here. On this side, we're going to see from that center this little part sticking out until it comes to this curve. So from the center here, that line joining up, and our little curve to the edge. Then it's the core. So here is our core. And there you have your right hand thread, square thread. And that is the end of page 105, the left hand side of 105, a square thread. Hello grade 11s, today I'm looking at page 105 from your workbooks. It is still the loci section and it is the square thread again. This is a bit wrong because there's no incomplete view, there's nothing there. And it says there's a square thread, there's a center line with the start point of AB here at the bottom. At the center front of the shaft, 1.5 revolutions, a 60 mm height, it's right-handed. This printing's a bit over. I assume that the outside diameter is 80, the core diameter is 40. And they want you to draw to scale of 1:1 the top view, the complete front view, and the right-handed square thread. Show all the necessary construction, no hidden detail is required. Hopefully by now we know the process that I want to follow. So I'm going to start by drawing the circles, and possibly not the whole circle. I don't know if it's going to fit in here, where they want you to draw a circle with an outside diameter of 80 and the inside diameter of 40. So that's what I'm going to start with, my circles.